Unstoppable routine. The science of building habits that last. Build better systems, create lasting change, and transform your life one day at a time. Introduction. Why habits shape your destiny more than motivation. Every person dreams of improving something about their life. Some want better health. Some hope to become financially secure. Others want stronger relationships, a successful career, greater confidence, or the discipline to finish what they start. Although these goals are different, they all share one common requirement. They depend on habits. The life you live today is largely the result of what you repeatedly do. Your current level of health reflects daily choices about food, movement, sleep, and recovery. Your financial situation reflects countless decisions about earning, saving, investing, and spending. Your knowledge reflects the books you have read, the conversations you have had, and the skills you have practiced. Even your confidence is influenced by the promises you keep to yourself every day. Extraordinary lives are not built through extraordinary moments. They are built through ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. That is the central idea of this book. Many people believe success begins with motivation. They wait to feel inspired before they begin exercising. They wait for confidence before applying for a better job. They wait for the perfect mood before writing, studying, or creating. Unfortunately, motivation is unpredictable. Some mornings you wake up feeling energetic and determined. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If your progress depends entirely on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. Habits provide a better path. A habit is a behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. It removes the need to negotiate with yourself every day. Instead of asking whether you feel like exercising, you simply exercise because it has become part of your routine. Instead of debating whether to read, write, or study, you do it because it is what you always do. This is the quiet power of habits. They reduce dependence on emotion and replace it with consistency. Over time, consistency produces results that motivation alone never could. Small actions create extraordinary outcomes. When people think about changing their lives, they often imagine dramatic transformations. A complete career change. A major fitness challenge. An ambitious financial goal. A perfectly organized daily schedule. While these ideas are exciting, lasting change rarely begins with giant leaps. It begins with small actions. Reading 10 pages every day may not seem impressive. Walking for 30 minutes appears ordinary. Saving a small amount of money each week feels insignificant. Practicing a new skill for 20 minutes seems almost too simple. Yet these small actions possess remarkable power because they compound over time. One page becomes hundreds of pages. One walk becomes better health. One lesson becomes expertise. One disciplined choice becomes a stronger identity. The greatest changes in life usually arrive quietly. They are almost invisible while they are happening. Then one day you look back and realize your life has been transformed. Habits shape identity. Many people focus only on outcomes. They want to lose weight, earn more money, write a book, build a successful business. These are worthwhile goals. But goals alone do not create lasting change. Habits shape something much deeper than results. They shape identity. Every action you repeat becomes evidence of the kind of person you believe yourself to be. When you exercise regularly, you begin seeing yourself as someone who values health. When you write every day, you become a writer. When you keep your promises, you become dependable. When you continue learning, you become someone who grows continuously. Identity influences behavior. Behavior strengthens identity. The cycle continues. This is why lasting habits feel natural. They become part of who you are. The hidden power of routine. Routine often receives little attention because it appears ordinary. It lacks excitement. It rarely attracts applause. Yet routine is responsible for many remarkable achievements. Athletes rely on training routines. Musicians practice daily. Authors write consistently. Scientists perform careful research. Successful entrepreneurs follow structured systems. Their routines may look repetitive from the outside. Inside those routines, greatness is quietly being built. Routine transforms discipline into habit. Habit transforms effort into consistency. Consistency transforms potential into achievement. Why most habits fail? Many people begin new habits with enthusiasm. They buy new equipment, create ambitious schedules, promise themselves that everything will change. Within a few weeks, the excitement disappears. Old behaviors return. The habit is abandoned. This happens for several reasons. Sometimes the habit is too difficult. Sometimes the expectations are unrealistic. Sometimes the environment encourages old behaviors. Sometimes people depend entirely on motivation instead of creating reliable systems. Failure does not mean you lack ability. It usually means your approach needs improvement. Throughout this book, you will learn how to build habits that survive beyond temporary excitement. Habits that continue during stressful seasons. Habits that fit real life. Habits that become permanent. The science meets everyday life. Habit formation is not based only on determination. It is deeply connected to how the human brain works. Your brain constantly searches for ways to conserve energy. When you repeat the same behavior enough times, your brain gradually automates it. This allows you to perform familiar actions with less mental effort. Driving, typing, brushing your teeth, preparing coffee. These actions once required conscious attention. Today they happen almost automatically. The same process can be used intentionally. By understanding how habits develop, you can design routines that work with your brain instead of against it. Science explains why habits form. Practical action makes them last. This book combines both perspectives. Progress is better than perfection. One of the greatest obstacles to lasting habits is perfectionism. People believe one mistake ruins everything. They miss one workout and stop exercising completely. They skip one day of reading and abandon the habit. They make one unhealthy choice and decide to start again next month. Real progress does not require perfection. It requires persistence. Everyone experiences setbacks. Everyone loses motivation. Everyone faces unexpected challenges. Successful people simply return to their routines more quickly. They understand that one imperfect day does not define an entire year. Progress belongs to those who continue. The purpose of this book. This book is not designed to fill your mind with theories alone. Its purpose is practical transformation. Each chapter will help you understand how habits are formed, how routines become automatic, why consistency matters more than intensity, and how small improvements create extraordinary results over time. You will learn how to replace harmful habits without relying on endless willpower. How to design environments that naturally encourage productive behavior. How to create morning and evening routines that support your goals. How to recover quickly after setbacks. How to build systems that continue working even when motivation disappears. Most importantly, you will learn how habits shape not only what you achieve but also who you become. Your journey begins today. Every meaningful change begins with one decision. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Not at the beginning of next year. Today. The habits you begin building now will influence every future version of yourself. Each small action is a vote for the person you wish to become. Every healthy choice strengthens your future. Every focused hour develops your potential. Every promise you keep builds self-respect. As you move through this book, remember one simple truth. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your daily habits. Master your habits, and you gradually master your life. That is the journey we begin together. And it starts with the next choice you make. Chapter 1. The Power of Everyday Habits. Every human life is shaped by repetition. From the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, your day is filled with habits. Some are obvious, such as brushing your teeth, drinking coffee, checking your phone, or preparing breakfast. Others are almost invisible. The way you think about yourself, how you respond to stress, how you speak to others, and how you spend your free time are all influenced by repeated patterns of behavior. Most people underestimate the power of these everyday actions because they appear too small to matter. After all, what difference can one workout make? What difference can reading 10 pages have? How important is waking up 30 minutes earlier? The answer is simple. Almost none. One workout will not transform your body. One healthy meal will not dramatically improve your health. One productive morning will not build a successful career. But that is not how habits work. Their true power lies in repetition. The same action performed consistently for months or years creates results that seem extraordinary to people who only notice the final outcome. The strongest buildings are not constructed in a single day. They are built one brick at a time. Your life follows the same principle. Every daily habit becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Success is hidden in ordinary days. When people imagine success, they often picture dramatic moments. Winning an award, launching a successful company, completing a marathon, publishing a best-selling book, standing on a stage to receive recognition. These moments are exciting. But they are only the visible result of thousands of invisible actions. The author spent years writing. The athlete completed countless training sessions. The entrepreneur solved hundreds of problems. The musician practiced scales long before performing before an audience. Great achievements are public. Great habits are private. The world celebrates the result. Very few people witness the routine that created it. This is encouraging because it means extraordinary success is not reserved for extraordinary people. It is available to ordinary people who consistently perform ordinary actions with exceptional commitment. Habits are always working. Many people think habits matter only when they are trying to improve themselves. The truth is different. Habits are always shaping your future. Whether they help you or hurt you depends entirely on what they encourage you to repeat. Imagine two friends who begin their careers together. Both earn similar incomes. Both possess similar abilities. The first spends 1 hour each evening learning new skills. The second spends that same hour watching random videos online. After 1 week, there is almost no noticeable difference. After 1 year, the first person has accumulated more than 360 hours of learning. After 5 years, the gap becomes enormous. One has developed valuable expertise. The other has accumulated temporary entertainment. Neither person's future changed overnight. It changed 1 hour at a time. This is how habits quietly shape destiny. The compound effect of small choices. People often recognize the power of compound interest in finance. A small investment grows because each gain begins producing additional gains. Habits operate in much the same way. Every positive habit strengthens the next positive choice. Regular exercise improves energy. Greater energy improves concentration. Better concentration increases productivity. Higher productivity creates confidence. Confidence encourages greater consistency. Each improvement supports another. Negative habits follow the same pattern. Poor sleep reduces energy. Low energy weakens focus. Weak focus encourages procrastination. Procrastination creates stress. Stress often leads to unhealthy decisions. Both positive and negative habits compound over time. The direction of your life depends on which cycle you choose to strengthen. Every habit casts a vote. Imagine your identity as a sculpture. Every habit is another small strike of the sculpture's tool. No single action completes the masterpiece. Each action simply shapes it a little more. When you choose to read instead of scrolling through social media, you cast a vote for becoming a lifelong learner. When you keep your workout appointment, you vote for becoming a healthy person. When you finish an important task instead of procrastinating, you vote for becoming disciplined. One vote does not determine the final outcome. Thousands of votes eventually create your identity. Instead of asking whether today's habit will change your life, ask whether it supports the person you wish to become. The gap between effort and results. One reason people abandon good habits is because results often arrive later than expected. You may exercise consistently for several weeks without noticing dramatic physical changes. You may study every evening without immediately becoming an expert. You may save money for months before seeing significant financial growth. During this period, many people become discouraged. They believe their efforts are not working. In reality, progress is often invisible until it reaches a certain point. Think about planting a seed. For many days, nothing appears above the soil. That does not mean growth has stopped. The roots are developing beneath the surface. Habits work in the same way. Much of the early progress happens where it cannot yet be seen. Patience allows invisible progress to become visible success. Good habits reduce stress. Many people believe routines make life boring. The opposite is usually true. Strong habits reduce stress because they eliminate unnecessary uncertainty. You no longer wonder when to exercise. It is already scheduled. You no longer debate whether to save money. It has become automatic. You no longer struggle to decide when to study. Your routine has already answered that question. Habits reduce decision fatigue. They preserve mental energy. They allow you to focus on solving meaningful problems instead of making the same small decisions every day. Excellence is never an accident. When people consistently produce excellent work, others often describe them as naturally talented. Talent certainly matters. But excellence almost always reflects disciplined habits. Great musicians practice daily. Exceptional athletes train consistently. Outstanding leaders invest time learning and improving. Reliable professionals develop organized systems. Behind every impressive performance stands a routine that few people ever notice. Excellence is rarely accidental. It is carefully repeated. Habits build confidence. Confidence is not created by positive thinking alone. It grows through evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen self-belief. Completing today's workout proves you can remain committed. Finishing an important project demonstrates reliability. Learning a new skill increases confidence in your ability to grow. Repeated success, even in small forms, gradually changes the way you see yourself. You stop hoping you are disciplined. You know you are. Confidence becomes the natural result of consistent action. Protect your keystone habits. Some habits create benefits far beyond themselves. These are often called keystone habits because they influence many other areas of life. Regular exercise often improves sleep, energy, mood, and focus. Reading encourages better thinking and decision-making. Planning your day improves productivity and reduces stress. Getting enough sleep strengthens nearly every aspect of physical and mental performance. Identify the habits that create multiple positive effects. Protect them carefully. Improving one important habit often improves many others automatically. Build before you need. One mistake people often make is waiting until life becomes difficult before developing strong habits. They wait until their health declines before exercising. They wait until financial problems appear before budgeting. They wait until deadlines become overwhelming before organizing their time. Better habits should be built during calm seasons. Strong routines provide stability during difficult seasons. Preparation always creates confidence. Ordinary choices create extraordinary lives. Imagine looking back 20 years from now. Your future will not be shaped by one extraordinary decision. It will reflect thousands of ordinary choices. The books you read, the conversations you had, the food you ate, the way you managed your time, the effort you invested, the habits you repeated. None of these actions seem dramatic in isolation. Together, they become your life. Never underestimate today's routine. Never dismiss a small improvement. Never believe that one positive choice is too insignificant to matter. Every lasting transformation begins with one repeated action, then another, until the behavior that once required effort becomes part of who you are. That is the true power of everyday habits. They quietly build the person you become and the future you create. Master your daily habits, and you will gradually master your life. Chapter 2. The Science Behind Habit Formation. Every habit begins with a single action. The first time you perform a behavior, your brain treats it as something new. It requires attention, concentration, and conscious effort. You must think through each step carefully because your mind has not yet created an automatic pattern. Think about learning to drive a car. At first, every movement feels unfamiliar. You check the mirrors, adjust your speed, steer carefully, and constantly think about what to do next. The process demands your full attention. Months later, driving feels almost effortless. You can navigate familiar roads while carrying on a conversation or listening to music because your brain has transformed a once complicated activity into an automatic routine. This remarkable ability is one of the greatest strengths of the human brain. It allows you to conserve energy by turning repeated behaviors into habits. The same process that helps you drive a car or brush your teeth also influences your productivity, health, relationships, finances, and personal growth. Understanding how this process works gives you a powerful advantage. Instead of hoping good habits appear naturally, you can intentionally design them. Your brain loves efficiency. The human brain performs thousands of tasks every day. It processes information, solves problems, stores memories, regulates emotions, and controls every movement of your body. If every action required full conscious attention, even simple tasks would become exhausting. To prevent this, your brain constantly searches for ways to save energy. Whenever you repeat a behavior often enough, your brain begins creating shortcuts. Instead of analyzing every step repeatedly, it stores the sequence as a routine. The more frequently you repeat the behavior, the stronger that routine becomes. Eventually, very little conscious effort is required. This is why habits feel automatic. Your brain is simply becoming more efficient. Efficiency is valuable. The challenge is that your brain does not distinguish between helpful habits and harmful ones. It automates both. The habit loop. Most habits follow a predictable pattern that repeats again and again. First comes a cue. A cue is something that tells your brain it is time to perform a familiar behavior. The cue may be a specific time of day, a location, a particular emotion, another person, or even a smell or sound. Next comes the routine. This is the action itself. Drinking coffee, checking your phone, going for a walk, reading a book, exercising. Finally comes the reward. The reward tells your brain that the behavior was worthwhile. It may be satisfaction, comfort, relaxation, achievement, pleasure. Over time, your brain begins linking these three elements together. When the cue appears, the routine feels natural because your brain remembers the reward. Understanding this simple cycle allows you to change habits more effectively. Repetition is more important than perfection. Many people believe they must perform a new habit perfectly from the beginning. This belief often leads to frustration. The brain does not require perfection. It requires repetition. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways connected to the habit. Imagine walking through a field of tall grass. The first journey is difficult because no path exists. Walk the same route every day. Gradually, a visible trail appears. The more often you use it, the easier it becomes. Your brain creates habits in a similar way. Every repetition strengthens the pathway. Missing one day does not erase your progress. Returning consistently keeps the path clear. Why bad habits feel so easy? People often wonder why unhealthy habits seem easier than positive ones. The answer is simple. Most unhealthy habits provide immediate rewards. Eating unhealthy food creates instant pleasure. Checking social media offers immediate entertainment. Procrastination provides temporary relief from difficult work. The consequences arrive later. Good habits often work in the opposite direction. Exercise requires effort now. Reading demands concentration now. Saving money requires discipline now. The rewards appear much later. Your brain naturally notices immediate rewards more easily than delayed benefits. This is why building good habits requires intentional design. Emotions strengthen habits. Habits are not created only through repetition. Emotions also play an important role. Experiences connected with strong emotions become easier to remember. If a behavior consistently reduces stress, creates happiness, or produces satisfaction, your brain becomes more likely to repeat it. This explains why emotional eating develops. It also explains why exercise eventually becomes enjoyable for many people. Positive emotions strengthen useful routines. Negative emotions can strengthen harmful ones. Learning healthier ways to respond to emotions is essential for lasting change. Identity reinforces behavior. The strongest habits are connected to identity. Imagine two people trying to stop smoking. The first says, "I'm trying to quit." The second says, "I don't smoke." The difference may appear small. Yet the second statement reflects identity. Identity influences choices. People naturally behave in ways that match how they see themselves. If you believe you are a disciplined person, disciplined actions feel consistent with your identity. If you believe you are always disorganized, your behavior often supports that belief. Changing habits becomes easier when you focus on becoming a different kind of person rather than simply achieving a different result. Tiny improvements matter. The brain responds well to gradual change. Many people fail because they attempt enormous changes overnight. They decide to exercise 2 hours every day. Read 100 pages daily. Wake up several hours earlier. Completely transform their lifestyle. These dramatic changes require enormous mental effort. Eventually, resistance grows stronger than motivation. Small habits succeed because they feel manageable. Reading 5 pages is easy. Walking for 10 minutes feels achievable. Writing 1 paragraph requires little effort. Once the habit becomes automatic, increasing the challenge becomes much easier. Small beginnings often produce remarkable endings. The role of consistency. The brain values patterns. Repeated behaviors signal importance. Occasional behaviors do not. Imagine practicing the piano for 3 hours once each month. Now compare that with practicing 15 minutes every day. The daily practice creates stronger neural connections because repetition occurs more frequently. Consistency matters more than intensity. A habit performed regularly becomes stronger than one performed occasionally, even if each session is shorter. The goal is not occasional excellence. The goal is reliable repetition. Environment influences the brain. Many people believe habits depend entirely on self-control. Environment often matters more. Imagine placing fresh fruit on your kitchen counter while hiding unhealthy snacks in a difficult-to-reach location. Without realizing it, you become more likely to choose healthier food. The environment provides constant cues. Visible books encourage reading. A prepared gym bag encourages exercise. A clean workspace encourages concentration. Your surroundings quietly influence your decisions every day. Designing your environment wisely allows your brain to support your goals instead of resisting them. Patience is part of the process. People often ask how long it takes to build a habit. The answer varies. Some behaviors become automatic relatively quickly. Others require much longer. The exact number of days is less important than the process itself. What matters is continuing until the behavior feels natural. Do not measure success by the calendar. Measure it by consistency. If you continue showing up, your brain gradually adapts. The effort decreases. The routine strengthens. The habit becomes part of your daily life. Science gives you an advantage. Understanding the science of habits changes the way you think about personal growth. You stop relying entirely on motivation. You stop blaming yourself for every setback. Instead, you recognize that your brain responds to repetition, environment, emotion, and identity. This knowledge allows you to work with your natural biology instead of constantly fighting against it. Every positive habit begins as a conscious decision. Repeated often enough, that decision becomes automatic. Automatic behaviors become routines. Routines shape your character. Character shapes your future. The science is clear. The brain changes according to what it repeatedly experiences. Choose those experiences carefully. Because every habit you practice today is quietly training the person you will become tomorrow. Chapter 3. Building habits that actually stick. Starting a new habit is easy. Almost everyone has experienced the excitement of a fresh beginning. A new notebook is purchased. A workout plan is created. Healthy meals are prepared. Books are stacked on the desk. Goals are written with enthusiasm, and confidence is high. For a few days, everything feels different. The new routine seems exciting. Progress appears effortless. Then reality arrives. Work becomes demanding. Family responsibilities increase. Unexpected problems appear. Motivation begins to fade. The habit that once felt exciting slowly becomes another forgotten intention. This pattern is so common that many people begin believing they simply lack discipline. The truth is far more encouraging. Most habits fail because they are built on temporary enthusiasm instead of lasting systems. Building habits that truly stick requires a different approach. Instead of relying on willpower, you must create routines that become easy to repeat, difficult to avoid, and meaningful enough to continue. The goal is not to create perfect habits. The goal is to create permanent ones. Begin smaller than you think. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to change too much at once. A person who rarely exercises decides to work out 2 hours every day. Someone who never reads sets a goal of finishing 100 books in a year. A beginner decides to wake up at 4 o'clock every morning. These ambitious goals create excitement. Unfortunately, they also create resistance. The brain naturally avoids behaviors that feel overwhelming. A much better strategy is to begin so small that failure becomes difficult. Read 1 page. Walk for 10 minutes. Write 1 paragraph. Meditate for 2 minutes. Drink 1 extra glass of water. These actions may appear insignificant, but they accomplish something extremely important. They establish consistency. Once consistency exists, growth becomes much easier. Focus on showing up. Many people measure success by how much they accomplish. A more useful approach is to measure success by whether they showed up. Imagine 2 people beginning a fitness journey. The first exercises intensely for 3 hours every Saturday. The second walks for 20 minutes every weekday. After several months, the second person has created a routine. The first has created occasional effort. Showing up consistently matters more than occasional intensity. Every time you repeat the behavior, you strengthen the habit. The duration can improve later. Consistency comes first. Attach new habits to existing ones. The easiest habits to build are often connected to habits you already perform. Think about your daily routine. You already wake up. Brush your teeth. Prepare meals. Leave for work. Go to bed. These existing routines provide excellent opportunities for adding new behaviors. After brushing your teeth, stretch for 5 minutes. After breakfast, read 10 pages. After returning home, review tomorrow's schedule. After dinner, write in a journal. By connecting new habits to familiar routines, you reduce the mental effort required to remember them. Your existing habits become reminders for your new ones. Remove friction. Every habit contains some level of resistance. The easier a behavior becomes, the more likely you are to repeat it. Imagine wanting to exercise. If your workout clothes are already prepared, your shoes are by the door, and your schedule includes a planned exercise time, beginning becomes much easier. Now imagine searching for equipment, deciding where to exercise, and wondering when to fit it into your day. The second situation creates unnecessary obstacles. Successful people reduce friction. Prepare your workspace before beginning. Keep healthy food available. Place books where you can easily reach them. Organize your environment so that productive behavior becomes the easiest choice. Increase the cost of bad habits. Just as good habits should become easier, harmful habits should become more difficult. If excessive phone use distracts you, keep your device in another room while working. If unhealthy snacks tempt you, avoid keeping them at home. If late-night television affects your sleep, remove the remote from your bedroom. Small environmental changes increase the effort required for unwanted behaviors. Even slight inconvenience often reduces unhealthy habits significantly. Reward consistency. The human brain responds positively to rewards. This does not mean every habit requires expensive gifts or elaborate celebrations. Simple recognition is often enough. Mark each completed day on a calendar. Write your progress in a notebook. Pause briefly to appreciate your consistency. These small acknowledgments reinforce the behavior. They remind your brain that the effort is worthwhile. Over time, the habit itself becomes rewarding. Progress creates satisfaction. Growth becomes enjoyable. Expect obstacles. Many people assume successful habits develop without interruption. Reality is very different. Busy schedules, travel, illness, unexpected responsibilities, stressful periods. All of these will challenge your routine. Expect these obstacles before they arrive. Create simple backup plans. If you cannot complete your normal workout, take a short walk. If you cannot read for 30 minutes, read for 5. If your schedule changes, protect at least the smallest version of your habit. Maintaining continuity matters more than maintaining perfection. Track what matters. Measurement creates awareness. When people monitor their habits, they often become more consistent. Keep your tracking system simple. Record whether you completed today's habit. Notice patterns. Identify obstacles. Celebrate progress. Avoid becoming obsessed with numbers. The purpose of tracking is improvement, not pressure. Your record should encourage you, not discourage you. Protect your identity. Every completed habit reinforces your identity. Every time you write, you strengthen the identity of being a writer. Every workout strengthens the identity of being an active person. Every study session strengthens the identity of being a lifelong learner. Instead of focusing only on outcomes, ask yourself, what kind of person am I becoming through this habit? Identity creates powerful motivation. People naturally protect behaviors that match who they believe they are. Learn to restart quickly. Even the strongest routines experience interruptions. The difference between successful people and everyone else is not that they never fail. It is that they recover faster. One missed day is normal. 2 missed days begin creating a new habit. Whenever your routine is interrupted, return immediately. Avoid guilt. Avoid excuses. Avoid waiting for a perfect moment. Restart today. Every successful habit includes many fresh starts. The important thing is never allowing temporary setbacks to become permanent patterns. Build habits for the person you want to become. Your habits should reflect your future, not your past. Do not ask, "What do I feel like doing today?" Ask, "What would the person I want to become do in this situation?" Would that person exercise? Would they study? Would they keep their promises? Would they choose growth over comfort? Every answer becomes another opportunity to strengthen your future identity. The secret is never quitting. People often search for secret techniques that guarantee success. The real secret is much simpler. Keep going. Continue when progress feels slow. Continue after making mistakes. Continue when motivation disappears. Continue during busy seasons. Continue when nobody notices. Habits become powerful because they survive ordinary life. They remain during stressful weeks. They continue through changing circumstances. They become part of who you are. One small action repeated every day will always outperform one extraordinary effort performed only once. That is how lasting habits are built. Not through perfection. Not through endless motivation. But through steady, patient, consistent repetition. Master that process, and you will discover that success is no longer something you occasionally achieve. It becomes the natural result of the way you live. Chapter 4. Breaking bad habits without relying on willpower. Every person has habits they wish they could change. Some spend hours scrolling through social media when they intended to work. Others procrastinate important tasks until deadlines create unnecessary stress. Many struggle with unhealthy eating, lack of exercise, poor sleep, excessive spending, or negative self-talk. These behaviors often begin as small choices. Over time, repetition transforms them into automatic routines. Eventually, they become so familiar that changing them feels almost impossible. This is why many people believe they simply lack willpower. They promise themselves that tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow arrives. For a few hours, everything goes well. Then an unexpected challenge appears. Stress increases. Energy decreases. Old habits quietly return. The cycle repeats itself. Fortunately, lasting change does not depend on extraordinary willpower. It depends on understanding how habits work and creating systems that make better choices easier. You do not defeat bad habits by fighting them every day. You defeat them by making them unnecessary. Understand the real cause. Every habit exists for a reason. Even unhealthy habits provide some kind of benefit. Procrastination temporarily reduces anxiety. Unhealthy food may provide comfort. Endless entertainment offers an escape from stress. Complaining creates temporary emotional relief. These rewards may not improve your life, but they satisfy an immediate need. If you want to eliminate a bad habit, begin by asking yourself one important question: what need is this habit trying to satisfy? Once you understand the purpose behind the behavior, you can find healthier ways to meet the same need. You are not simply removing a habit. You are replacing it with something better. Awareness comes before change. Many bad habits happen automatically. You reach for your phone without thinking. You snack while watching television. You postpone important work because it has become your normal response. You cannot change a habit you fail to notice. Begin paying attention. Observe your routines without judging yourself. Notice when the habit appears. Notice where it happens. Notice how you feel before and after. This awareness gives you valuable information. Once you understand your patterns, you gain the ability to interrupt them. Replace instead of remove. Trying to eliminate a habit without replacing it often creates frustration. Imagine removing every chair from a room without providing another place to sit. The empty space feels uncomfortable. Habits work in the same way. If you stop one behavior, your brain naturally searches for another. Replace unhealthy eating with nutritious snacks. Replace endless scrolling with reading. Replace negative thinking with gratitude. Replace procrastination with one small productive action. The goal is not creating emptiness. It is creating improvement. Healthy habits fill the space left behind by unhealthy ones. Make bad habits difficult. Convenience influences behavior more than most people realize. If unhealthy food is always within reach, eating it becomes easy. If your phone sits beside you while working, distraction becomes almost automatic. Increase the effort required for harmful habits. Store unhealthy snacks out of sight. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Log out of distracting applications. Keep entertainment devices away from your workspace. Small obstacles create valuable moments of awareness. Sometimes a few extra seconds are enough to help you make a better decision. Change the environment. Many people believe they need stronger self-control. Often they simply need a better environment. Imagine entering a room filled with books, a clean desk, comfortable lighting, and no unnecessary distractions. Now imagine another room where the television is playing, your phone constantly vibrates, and clutter covers every surface. Which environment supports focused work? Your surroundings quietly shape your behavior every day. Design spaces that encourage the habits you want. A healthy kitchen encourages healthy eating. An organized office encourages productivity. A peaceful bedroom encourages quality sleep. Change the environment, and behavior often changes naturally. Delay the urge. When a craving appears, most people believe they must either satisfy it immediately or resist it completely. There is another option. Delay it. Tell yourself, "I'll wait for 10 minutes before making a decision." During those 10 minutes, the emotional intensity often decreases. Cravings behave like waves. They rise, reach a peak, gradually disappear. You do not need to fight every urge. Sometimes you simply need to wait. Patience weakens impulsive behavior. Focus on one habit at a time. Many people attempt to improve every area of life simultaneously. They decide to exercise daily, wake up earlier, read more, eat healthier, save money, meditate, learn a new language. While admirable, this approach often creates exhaustion. Concentrate on one meaningful habit. Allow it to become stable. Then build the next. Success grows step by step. Strong foundations support future growth. Learn from setbacks. Nobody changes perfectly. You will occasionally return to old habits. Do not allow one mistake to define your progress. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "What triggered this behavior?" Every setback provides useful information. Perhaps you were tired. Perhaps you were stressed. Perhaps your environment encouraged the behavior. Each lesson helps strengthen your future system. Failure becomes valuable when it teaches improvement. Build better emotional responses. Many unhealthy habits are emotional rather than practical. People eat because they feel lonely. Spend money because they feel stressed. Avoid work because they fear failure. Until emotional needs are addressed, habits often remain unchanged. Develop healthier responses. Exercise when stressed. Write in a journal when anxious. Speak with a trusted friend when overwhelmed. Practice deep breathing during difficult moments. Walk outside when your mind feels crowded. Healthy emotional habits strengthen every other area of life. Strengthen your self-respect. Every promise you keep to yourself builds trust. Every promise you repeatedly break weakens confidence. This is why small commitments matter. If you promise yourself 10 minutes of reading, complete it. If you schedule a short walk, take it. These actions appear small, yet they communicate something powerful. They remind you that your own word has value. Self-respect grows through action. The more you trust yourself, the easier positive habits become. Freedom through better choices. Many people think habits restrict freedom. In reality, unhealthy habits create dependence. Productive habits create freedom. Financial discipline creates financial freedom. Healthy eating creates physical freedom. Learning creates career freedom. Time management creates freedom from unnecessary stress. Every positive habit expands your future options. Every negative habit quietly limits them. The choices you make today determine how much freedom you experience tomorrow. Become stronger than your old patterns. Breaking bad habits is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming more aware, more intentional, and more consistent. Old patterns may have guided your life for years. That does not mean they must guide your future. Every day provides another opportunity to make a better choice. Another opportunity to strengthen a healthier identity. Another opportunity to prove to yourself that change is possible. You are not defined by yesterday's habits. You are defined by the decisions you continue making today. Each positive choice weakens an old pattern. Each repeated action strengthens a new one. Eventually, the behaviors that once controlled you lose their influence. In their place stands a new routine. A stronger mindset. A healthier lifestyle. A more disciplined character. That transformation does not happen through extraordinary willpower. It happens through ordinary decisions repeated with patience and consistency. Master those decisions, and you will discover that breaking bad habits is not about fighting your past. It is about building a better future, one deliberate choice at a time. Chapter 5. Designing your environment for success. Imagine trying to grow a healthy plant. You carefully choose the seed, water it regularly, and hope it will flourish. But if you place it in poor soil, deny it sunlight, or forget to protect it from harsh conditions, even the strongest seed will struggle. People are no different. Your habits do not exist in isolation. They are constantly influenced by the environment around you. The places you live, the people you spend time with, the objects you see, and the routines that surround you quietly shape your decisions every single day. Many people believe success depends almost entirely on determination. Determination matters. But environment often matters even more. A well-designed environment makes good habits easier. A poorly designed environment makes bad habits almost unavoidable. Instead of relying on endless self-control, learn to create surroundings that naturally support the life you want to build. When your environment works for you instead of against you, consistency becomes much easier. Your surroundings shape your decisions. Every object around you sends a message. A television in the center of the room encourages watching. A bookshelf filled with interesting books encourages reading. A bowl of fresh fruit encourages healthy eating. A cluttered desk encourages distraction. Most of these influences happen without conscious awareness. Your brain constantly responds to what it sees. If productive choices are visible and convenient, you are more likely to make them. If distractions dominate your surroundings, they will quietly compete for your attention. Look around your home, workplace, or study area. Ask yourself, does this environment support the person I want to become? If the answer is no, begin making small improvements. Make good habits visible. People often forget to perform good habits simply because nothing reminds them. Visibility creates action. Place a book on your pillow if you want to read before sleeping. Keep a water bottle on your desk if you want to stay hydrated. Leave your workout clothes where you can see them. Place your notebook where you normally drink your morning coffee. Simple visual reminders reduce the effort required to remember your habits. The easier they are to notice, the more likely they are to happen. Hide your biggest distractions. What you cannot easily see is less likely to capture your attention. If social media distracts you, place your phone in another room while working. If television reduces your productivity, keep the remote out of immediate reach. If unhealthy snacks tempt you, remove them from visible locations. The goal is not punishment. The goal is reducing unnecessary temptation. Every obstacle you place between yourself and a bad habit gives your better habits another chance to succeed. Organize your workspace. Your work environment influences the quality of your thinking. A cluttered desk often creates a cluttered mind. An organized workspace encourages clarity and focus. You do not need an expensive office. You simply need a space that supports concentration. Keep only the materials required for your current task. Remove unnecessary distractions. Ensure adequate lighting. Maintain a comfortable chair. Keep frequently used items within easy reach. Small improvements create a noticeable difference in both productivity and mental energy. Build spaces with purpose. Many people use the same space for everything. Working, watching television, eating, relaxing, scrolling through social media, sleeping. Over time, the brain struggles to associate that environment with a specific behavior. Whenever possible, assign clear purposes to different spaces. A desk for focused work, a chair for reading, a dining table for meals, a bedroom primarily for rest. The brain learns through association. When each place has a clear purpose, productive behaviors become more automatic. Choose your social environment carefully. People influence habits just as strongly as physical surroundings. If you spend time with individuals who value growth, discipline, and learning, their attitudes naturally affect your own. If your environment encourages excuses, negativity, and unhealthy choices, maintaining good habits becomes much more difficult. Choose relationships that encourage your best qualities. Spend time with people who inspire action instead of constant complaints. Support others who are improving themselves. Growth becomes easier when shared. Positive environments include positive people. Reduce decision fatigue. Every decision requires mental energy. Choosing what to wear, what to eat, when to exercise, where to begin working. By the end of a busy day, your ability to make good decisions often decreases. Successful people simplify routine decisions. Prepare tomorrow's clothes tonight. Plan meals in advance. Schedule exercise at a consistent time. Organize tomorrow's work before ending today. These small preparations preserve mental energy for decisions that truly matter. Use technology intentionally. Technology is one of the most influential parts of the modern environment. Used wisely, it becomes a powerful tool. Used carelessly, it becomes a constant source of distraction. Organize your digital environment as carefully as your physical one. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Keep only useful applications on your home screen. Use calendars and reminders to support important habits. Limit access to websites that interrupt focused work. Technology should help you achieve your goals. It should not quietly control your attention. Create an environment that encourages rest. Productivity is impossible without recovery. Unfortunately, many people design bedrooms that encourage wakefulness instead of sleep. Bright lights, constant notifications, television, work materials. These signals tell the brain to remain alert. Create a peaceful sleeping environment. Keep the room comfortable. Reduce unnecessary light. Limit digital distractions before bedtime. Develop a calming evening routine. Quality sleep strengthens every other habit you are trying to build. Prepare for tomorrow today. One of the simplest ways to improve consistency is preparing in advance. At the end of each day, spend a few minutes organizing tomorrow. Review your schedule. Prepare important documents. Lay out exercise clothes. Pack your bag. Write your priorities. This small evening routine removes many of tomorrow's obstacles before they appear. Preparation transforms intention into action. The environment reflects your priorities. Walk into someone's home or office, and you can often identify their priorities. A musician surrounds themselves with instruments. A reader surrounds themselves with books. An athlete surrounds themselves with training equipment. A lifelong learner surrounds themselves with opportunities to grow. Your environment tells a story about your values. If your surroundings do not reflect your goals, begin changing them gradually. Every improvement sends a message to your brain. This matters. Over time, those messages become habits. Build a world that supports your future. You cannot control every part of your environment. Unexpected challenges will always exist. Distractions will always compete for your attention. Difficult people will occasionally enter your life. But you can control far more than you may realize. You can organize your workspace. Choose your routines. Prepare your schedule. Select your influences. Arrange your home. Protect your attention. These choices may appear ordinary. Yet together they create an environment where success becomes easier than failure. Remember this important truth. Willpower is strongest in the beginning. Environment continues working even after willpower fades. Design your surroundings carefully. Allow every room, every object, every routine, and every relationship to support the person you are becoming. Because when your environment is aligned with your goals, good habits stop feeling like a constant struggle. They become the natural way you live. And that is one of the most powerful advantages you can ever create for yourself. Chapter 6. Creating morning and evening routines that work. Every successful day begins long before your first important task. It begins with your routine. The way you start your morning influences your energy, focus, attitude, and productivity for the hours that follow. Likewise, the way you end your evening affects your sleep, recovery, and readiness for the next day. Many people believe productivity begins when they sit down to work. In reality, productivity begins much earlier. It begins with the habits that prepare your mind and body for meaningful action. A strong routine is not about filling every minute with activity. It is about creating structure. Structure reduces confusion. It reduces decision fatigue. It eliminates unnecessary stress. Most importantly, it creates consistency. When your mornings and evenings follow reliable patterns, success becomes easier because many of your best decisions have already been made. Your routine quietly guides you toward the life you want to build. Why routines matter. Imagine starting every morning without a plan. You wake up late. Check your phone immediately. Scroll through messages. Rush to get ready. Skip breakfast. Arrive at work already feeling behind. Now imagine another morning. You wake up at the same time each day. Drink water. Stretch. Read for a few minutes. Review your priorities. Begin your work calmly and intentionally. The difference between these mornings is not luck. It is routine. Small actions performed in the first hour of the day often determine how the rest of the day unfolds. A purposeful beginning creates purposeful results. Wake up with intention. The moment you wake up is the first opportunity to make a positive choice. Instead of reaching for your phone immediately, pause. Take a deep breath. Express gratitude for another day. Remind yourself of one meaningful goal. This simple practice shifts your attention away from distraction and toward purpose. The first thoughts of your morning often influence your mindset for the rest of the day. Choose them carefully. Hydrate and wake up your body. After several hours of sleep, your body naturally needs water. Drinking a glass of water shortly after waking helps refresh your body and signals the beginning of a new day. Follow this with gentle movement. Stretch your muscles. Take a short walk. Perform light exercises. Movement increases circulation. It improves alertness. It prepares both your body and your mind for productive work. You do not need an intense workout every morning. You simply need to wake your body with intention. Protect the first hour. The first hour of your day is valuable. Unfortunately, many people surrender it to notifications, emails, and social media. Instead of directing their attention, they allow outside demands to control it. Protect this time whenever possible. Use it for activities that strengthen you. Reading, planning, writing, exercise, meditation, learning, reflection. Personal growth completed early in the day often produces benefits that last for many hours. Invest the first hour in yourself before giving your attention to the rest of the world. Plan before you begin. A few minutes of planning can save hours of confusion later. Review your schedule. Identify your 3 most important tasks. Estimate how much time each one requires. Consider possible obstacles. This brief planning session creates clarity. Instead of wondering what to do next throughout the day, you already know your priorities. Clarity reduces procrastination. It encourages action. Build a flexible morning routine. Many books describe elaborate morning routines lasting several hours. While these routines may work for some people, they are not necessary for everyone. Your morning routine should fit your life. A parent with young children has different responsibilities than a college student. A nurse working night shifts has different needs than an office worker. Focus on consistency instead of complexity. Even 15 or 20 intentional minutes can create meaningful improvement. The best routine is the one you can continue. Create strong work transitions. Many people struggle to begin important work because they never create a clear transition into focused thinking. Develop a simple ritual. Clear your desk. Take one deep breath. Review today's priority. Silence distractions. Begin with the most important task. Repeating the same preparation each day teaches your brain that it is time to concentrate. Eventually, focus becomes easier because the routine itself becomes a signal. The importance of evening routines. Many people carefully plan their mornings while completely ignoring their evenings. This is a mistake. A productive tomorrow begins tonight. Evening routines prepare your body and mind for recovery. They reduce stress, improve sleep, create closure. Without a healthy ending, tomorrow begins with unnecessary fatigue. Reflect on the day. Before ending your day, spend a few minutes reflecting. Ask yourself, what went well today? What could I improve tomorrow? What lesson did I learn? Reflection strengthens awareness. It transforms everyday experiences into valuable learning opportunities. Growth becomes continuous because every day teaches something useful. Prepare for tomorrow. One of the most effective evening habits is simple preparation. Review tomorrow's schedule. Prepare your clothes. Pack necessary materials. Write tomorrow's priorities. Clean your workspace. These small actions reduce morning stress. Instead of beginning the day with confusion, you begin with confidence. Preparation builds momentum before the day even starts. Disconnect before sleeping. The modern world encourages constant stimulation. Bright screens, continuous notifications, late-night entertainment. These habits often interfere with quality sleep. Develop a calming evening routine. Reduce screen time before bed. Read a few pages of a book. Practice quiet reflection. Listen to relaxing music. Focus on activities that prepare your mind for rest rather than excitement. Quality sleep is one of the strongest foundations for lasting habits. Sleep is part of productivity. Many people treat sleep as something they sacrifice to accomplish more. In reality, sleep makes better performance possible. While sleeping, your body recovers. Your brain organizes memories. Your energy is restored. Your ability to concentrate improves. A tired mind struggles with discipline. A rested mind makes better decisions. Protect your sleep as carefully as your work schedule. It is an investment in tomorrow's success. Create routines that grow with you. Your routines should evolve as your life changes. A new job, marriage, parenthood, travel, changing responsibilities. All of these require adjustments. Do not become attached to one perfect schedule. Remain flexible. Review your routines regularly. Keep what works. Improve what does not. Strong routines are not rigid. They adapt while continuing to support your goals. When the day before it begins, every morning gives you a fresh opportunity. Every evening gives you another chance to prepare. Together, these routines create a powerful cycle. You wake with purpose. Work with focus. Finish with reflection. Rest with peace. Then repeat. The individual actions may appear ordinary. Drinking water. Planning your day. Reading. Preparing tomorrow's schedule. Sleeping on time. Yet these simple routines gradually shape your character. They remove unnecessary decisions, reduce stress, strengthen discipline, increase confidence. Most importantly, they create stability. Life will always contain unexpected challenges. Your routines become the anchor that keeps you moving forward. Remember, success is rarely the result of one extraordinary morning or one perfect evening. It is built through hundreds of ordinary mornings and evenings lived with intention. Master your daily routines, and you will discover that productivity becomes less about forcing yourself to work and more about naturally becoming the kind of person who succeeds every day. Chapter 7. The Habit of Consistency. Every January, millions of people make promises to themselves. They decide that this year will be different. They will exercise regularly, read more books, save money, wake up earlier, learn a new skill, spend more time with family. For a few weeks, everything goes well. The excitement of a fresh beginning fuels their actions. Then life becomes busy. A stressful project appears at work. A family responsibility demands attention. Travel interrupts the routine. Motivation fades. Slowly, the new habits disappear, and old behaviors return. This cycle repeats because many people depend on motivation instead of consistency. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. Consistency is quieter, less exciting, often unnoticed. Yet it is consistency, not motivation, that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. The greatest accomplishments in history were not created through one day of incredible effort. They were built through years of repeated action. Every masterpiece began with a single day of work. Every successful business started with one customer. Every healthy body developed through thousands of healthy choices. Consistency is the bridge between intention and achievement. Without it, even the best ideas remain unfinished. With it, even average talent can produce remarkable success. Why consistency wins? Imagine two people learning a new language. The first studies for 8 hours on the first day and then stops for 2 weeks. The second studies for 20 minutes every day. After several months, the second person is far more likely to succeed. Why? Because learning depends on repetition. The brain strengthens knowledge through regular exposure. The same principle applies to every area of life. Exercise, writing, reading, saving money, practicing an instrument, developing leadership skills. Progress is built through regular effort, not occasional intensity. Small daily improvements always outperform rare bursts of extraordinary effort. The myth of perfect days. Many people believe consistency means never making mistakes. This belief creates unnecessary pressure. Real consistency is not perfection. It is persistence. Everyone misses a workout. Everyone experiences unproductive days. Everyone becomes distracted. Everyone faces unexpected challenges. The difference is what happens next. Successful people return quickly. They do not allow one mistake to become a permanent habit. They understand that missing once is part of life. Giving up is a choice. Your goal is not to maintain a perfect record. Your goal is to maintain forward movement. Show up even when you don't feel like it. One of the greatest lessons consistency teaches is that feelings are unreliable. Some mornings you feel energetic. Other mornings you feel tired. If you only act when you feel motivated, your progress will always be unpredictable. Discipline begins when you act despite your emotions. Write even when inspiration is missing. Exercise even when you feel lazy. Study even when entertainment seems more appealing. The action itself often creates motivation. Once you begin, resistance usually fades. Momentum replaces hesitation. The hardest part is almost always starting. The power of keeping promises. Every promise you make to yourself affects your confidence. When you say you will exercise and then do it, you strengthen self-trust. When you plan to study and complete the session, you prove your reliability. These small victories build something valuable: self-respect. People often seek confidence through praise from others. True confidence grows from keeping promises to yourself. Each completed habit says, "I can depend on myself." That belief becomes stronger with every consistent action. Focus on the process. Many people become discouraged because they focus only on results. They expect dramatic improvements within days. When progress appears slow, they lose interest. Instead, focus on the process. Did you complete today's habit? Did you honor your schedule? Did you make one better choice? If the answer is yes, you succeeded today. Results eventually follow consistent processes. You cannot always control outcomes. You can always control today's actions. Winning the process eventually produces winning results. Build momentum through small wins. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. Completing one productive task encourages another. A successful morning often creates a successful afternoon. Small achievements increase confidence. Confidence encourages further action. Protect this momentum. Even during difficult days, complete one meaningful habit. Read one page. Walk for 10 minutes. Write one paragraph. Organize one small area. These actions may seem minor, but they prevent the feeling of starting over. Small wins keep the habit alive. Create consistency through systems. Consistency becomes easier when decisions have already been made. Schedule your habits. Exercise at the same time. Read before sleeping. Review your goals every Sunday evening. Plan tomorrow before ending today. Systems remove uncertainty. Instead of deciding whether you should complete the habit, you simply follow your routine. The fewer decisions required, the more consistent your behavior becomes. Learn to continue during difficult seasons. Life will not always be convenient. There will be periods of illness, financial pressure, family responsibilities, career changes, unexpected disappointments. Your habits should be strong enough to survive these seasons. Perhaps you reduce the intensity. Instead of running 5 kilometers, take a short walk. Instead of writing 10 pages, write 1. Instead of reading for an hour, read for 10 minutes. Protect the habit. Even a smaller version keeps your identity strong. Consistency matters more than quantity. Patience creates mastery. The modern world encourages immediate results. Habits work differently. Meaningful progress often takes months or years. Musicians practice for thousands of hours. Doctors study for many years. Athletes train daily before reaching elite performance. Do not expect lifelong habits to produce instant success. Trust the process. Remain patient. The rewards of consistency often appear slowly. When they arrive, they are usually greater than expected. The ripple effect of consistency. One positive habit rarely improves only one area of life. Regular exercise increases energy. More energy improves focus. Better focus increases productivity. Greater productivity creates confidence. Confidence encourages stronger relationships. One habit influences another. This ripple effect explains why small improvements create extraordinary long-term change. You rarely notice the transformation while it is happening. One day you simply realize you have become a different person. Consistency shapes identity. The greatest reward of consistency is not what you accomplish. It is who you become. A person who reads daily becomes knowledgeable. A person who exercises regularly becomes healthier. A person who honors commitments becomes dependable. Identity grows through repeated behavior. Eventually, productive habits stop feeling like something you force yourself to do. They become part of your character. This is lasting change. Not temporary motivation. Not short-term discipline. A permanent transformation in the way you live. Become unstoppable through repetition. Every remarkable achievement is built through repetition. The world often celebrates dramatic success stories. It rarely notices the ordinary days that created them. The quiet mornings. The consistent practice. The repeated effort. The discipline to continue when no one is watching. That is where greatness is built. Do not underestimate today's effort because it seems small. Every page you read, every workout you complete, every healthy meal you choose, every promise you keep, every distraction you resist, each action strengthens the person you are becoming. One day, people may admire your success. They may wonder how you became so disciplined, so focused, so dependable. You will know the answer. You simply continued when others stopped. You trusted small improvements. You valued consistency over perfection. You understood that extraordinary lives are built through ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary commitment. That is the habit of consistency. And it is one of the greatest advantages you will ever develop. Chapter 8. Habit Systems for Productivity, Health, and Success. Many people believe success depends on making better decisions. While good decisions are important, relying on them alone is exhausting. Every decision requires attention, energy, and self-control. By the end of a busy day, even simple choices can feel difficult. Highly successful people understand a different principle. Instead of depending on constant decision-making, they build systems. A system is a collection of habits that work together toward a common goal. A goal tells you where you want to go. A system helps you get there every day. Imagine someone who wants to become healthier. The goal is to improve fitness. The system includes preparing healthy meals, exercising at a consistent time, drinking enough water, sleeping well, and tracking progress. The system makes success predictable. This chapter explores how to build habit systems that improve productivity, health, relationships, finances, and personal growth. When your habits support one another, progress becomes faster, easier, and far more sustainable. Goals inspire. Systems deliver. Goals provide direction. They give you something meaningful to pursue. Without goals, life often feels uncertain. However, goals alone cannot produce lasting results. Imagine climbing a mountain. Knowing the destination is helpful. But without a map, proper equipment, and a reliable path, reaching the summit becomes unlikely. Systems provide the path. They determine what happens every ordinary day. Instead of asking, "How can I achieve this goal?" ask, "What daily system will naturally lead me there?" The quality of your life depends less on your goals than on the habits you repeat. A productivity system that works. Productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most. Create a daily system that protects your attention. Begin each morning by identifying your 3 most important tasks. Complete your most valuable work before becoming distracted by emails, messages, or unnecessary meetings. Work in focused periods without interruptions. Take short breaks to recover your attention. Review your progress before ending the day. This simple system creates structure. Structure creates consistency. Consistency produces meaningful results. Build a health system. Good health is never the result of one perfect decision. It grows from hundreds of healthy habits. Create a system that supports your body every day. Sleep at consistent times. Drink enough water. Eat balanced meals. Move your body regularly. Stretch when needed. Spend time outdoors. Manage stress through healthy activities. No single habit creates perfect health. Together, these habits strengthen your energy, concentration, and resilience. Health supports every other area of life. Protect it carefully. Develop a learning system. The world changes constantly. People who continue learning remain prepared for new opportunities. Create a daily learning habit. Read books. Listen to educational podcasts. Take online courses. Practice new skills. Write down useful ideas. Reflect on what you learn. Knowledge compounds just like money. The more consistently you invest in learning, the greater your future opportunities become. Learning should never end with formal education. It should become a lifelong habit. Strengthen your financial habits. Financial success rarely depends on luck. It usually reflects consistent habits practiced over many years. Spend less than you earn. Save regularly. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest wisely. Track your expenses. Review your financial goals. These simple habits create long-term stability. Financial freedom grows through discipline rather than dramatic events. Small financial decisions repeated consistently often produce remarkable results over time. Create a relationship system. Healthy relationships require intention. They do not grow automatically. Develop simple habits that strengthen the people around you. Listen carefully. Express appreciation regularly. Keep your promises. Spend quality time together. Offer encouragement. Resolve disagreements respectfully. Small acts of kindness performed consistently create trust. Trust becomes the foundation of strong relationships. Success feels more meaningful when shared with people who support and inspire you. Protect your mental energy. Mental energy is limited. Use it wisely. Avoid unnecessary multitasking. Reduce digital distractions. Take regular breaks. Spend quiet time thinking without constant stimulation. Practice gratitude. Reflect on your experiences. A clear mind makes better decisions. Strong mental habits improve creativity, focus, and emotional stability. Protecting your attention is one of the most valuable investments you can make. Weekly reviews create long-term success. Daily habits are powerful. Weekly reviews strengthen them. Set aside time once each week to evaluate your progress. Ask yourself, what worked well? What challenges appeared? Which habits remained consistent? What needs improvement next week? This reflection prevents small problems from becoming major obstacles. Continuous improvement keeps your system effective. Build systems that match your life. Avoid copying someone else's routine without considering your own circumstances. Every person has different responsibilities, different schedules, different goals, different strengths. Create systems that fit your reality. If mornings are busy, develop an evening study routine. If your work schedule changes often, choose flexible exercise times. The strongest system is not the most complicated one. It is the one you can maintain consistently. Automation creates freedom whenever possible. Automate positive habits. Schedule savings to transfer automatically. Use reminders for important tasks. Prepare recurring grocery lists. Create templates for repetitive work. Organize your calendar. Automation reduces the number of decisions required each day. Fewer decisions preserve energy. More energy improves consistency. Technology should simplify your life, not complicate it. Use it intentionally. Continuous improvement. No system remains perfect forever. As your life changes, your systems should change as well. Review your routines regularly. Remove habits that no longer serve your goals. Strengthen habits that produce meaningful results. Experiment with new approaches. Remain curious. Improvement is not a destination. It is an ongoing process. Each small adjustment increases the effectiveness of your system. The system becomes your lifestyle eventually. Your systems stop feeling like rules. They become your normal way of living. Planning your day becomes natural. Exercise becomes automatic. Learning becomes enjoyable. Healthy eating becomes routine. Saving money becomes expected. Helping others becomes part of your character. This is the true purpose of habit systems. They remove unnecessary struggle. They simplify important decisions. They create consistency without constant effort. Most importantly, they allow success to become sustainable. Your life is not shaped by occasional moments of excellence. It is shaped by the systems you faithfully follow every day. Design those systems with care. Improve them regularly. Trust them during difficult seasons. Allow them to guide your daily choices. Because when strong habits work together as one complete system, success is no longer something you chase. It becomes the natural result of the way you live. Chapter 9. Staying consistent through setbacks. No matter how carefully you build your habits, setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when you wake up feeling exhausted. Weeks when work demands all of your attention. Seasons when family responsibilities become overwhelming. Unexpected illnesses, financial challenges, disappointments, and personal losses can interrupt even the strongest routines. Many people assume that these interruptions mean they have failed. They believe one missed workout erases months of progress. One unhealthy meal destroys a healthy lifestyle. One unproductive week means they have lost all momentum. This belief is one of the greatest obstacles to lasting success. The truth is very different. Setbacks are not the opposite of progress. They are part of progress. Every successful person has experienced failure, disappointment, and periods of slow growth. What separates them from others is not that they avoid setbacks, but that they recover from them more quickly. Resilience is not built by living a perfect life. It is built by learning how to continue after life becomes difficult. Accept that progress is never perfect. Imagine climbing a mountain. Some parts of the trail are smooth and easy. Others are steep and rocky. Sometimes you pause to catch your breath. Sometimes you must change direction to avoid obstacles. The journey is rarely a straight line. Personal growth follows the same pattern. There will be fast periods of improvement. There will also be moments when progress seems invisible. Do not mistake temporary difficulty for permanent failure. Keep moving. Even slow progress is still progress. One bad day changes nothing. One unhealthy meal will not ruin your health. One missed workout will not destroy your fitness. One unproductive afternoon will not end your career. Individual actions matter far less than repeated patterns. The danger lies in allowing one mistake to become an excuse for many more. If you miss today's habit, return tomorrow. Avoid saying, "I'll start again next month." Every new day offers another opportunity to continue. Protect the habit by returning as quickly as possible. Learn without judging yourself. When setbacks occur, many people respond with harsh self-criticism. They call themselves lazy, weak, undisciplined. These labels rarely create improvement. Instead, become curious. Ask yourself, what happened? What caused this interruption? What can I change next time? Treat setbacks as information rather than evidence of failure. Every mistake teaches something valuable if you are willing to learn. Growth requires honesty, not self-punishment. Adapt instead of quitting. Life changes constantly. Your habits should be flexible enough to change with it. If your usual exercise routine becomes impossible, choose a shorter workout. If you cannot read for 30 minutes, read for 10. If work becomes unusually demanding, reduce the size of your habits instead of eliminating them completely. Small actions preserve momentum. Momentum makes recovery easier. Rigid routines often break under pressure. Flexible routines survive. Protect your identity during difficult times. When life becomes stressful, it is easy to forget who you are trying to become. This is why identity matters so much. Remind yourself, I am someone who values learning. I am someone who keeps promises. I am someone who takes care of my health. Even if today's action is smaller than usual, it still strengthens your identity. Your habits may change temporarily. Your values should remain constant. Build emotional resilience. Many setbacks are emotional rather than practical. Fear, disappointment, frustration, loneliness, stress. These emotions influence behavior. Ignoring them rarely works. Acknowledge what you feel. Accept that difficult emotions are part of being human. Choose healthy responses. Take a walk. Write your thoughts. Talk with someone you trust. Practice deep breathing. Read something encouraging. Healthy emotional habits help you return to productive routines more quickly. Avoid the comparison trap. Comparing yourself to others often creates discouragement. Someone else always appears more successful, more disciplined, more talented, more productive. Remember that you rarely see the full story. You see achievements. You do not see years of quiet effort, mistakes, failures, and persistence. Compare yourself only to the person you were yesterday. Have you learned something? Have you improved one habit? Have you made one better decision? That is meaningful progress. Celebrate small victories. Many people postpone satisfaction until they achieve enormous goals. This approach makes the journey unnecessarily difficult. Celebrate small improvements. A week of consistent exercise. A month of regular reading. Paying off a debt. Completing a challenging project. Keeping your morning routine during a stressful season. These victories deserve recognition. Celebrating progress increases motivation. It reminds you that your efforts matter. Build a support system. Consistency becomes easier when you are not alone. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth. Share your goals with trusted friends. Ask for accountability. Offer support to others working toward meaningful change. Positive relationships strengthen resilience. During difficult seasons, encouragement from others often provides the strength needed to continue. Success is rarely a solitary journey. Remember your purpose. When motivation disappears, purpose remains. Ask yourself why your habits matter. Why do you want better health? Why are you learning new skills? Why are you saving money? Why do you value discipline? Clear purpose creates lasting commitment. When your reasons are meaningful, temporary setbacks lose much of their power. Purpose gives ordinary habits extraordinary significance. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Every setback contains a lesson. An injury teaches patience. A failure teaches preparation. A disappointment teaches resilience. A mistake teaches wisdom. Difficult experiences often develop qualities that comfortable seasons cannot. Strength, humility, persistence, adaptability. These qualities become valuable long after the setback has passed. Do not waste difficult experiences. Learn from them. Grow through them. Allow them to strengthen your character. Keep moving forward. The most successful people are not those who never struggle. They are the people who refuse to stop. They understand that life will never be perfect. There will always be unexpected challenges, unexpected delays, unexpected disappointments. Yet they continue. They adjust their plans. They simplify their routines. They protect their habits. They trust that small actions still matter. This mindset creates lasting success. Not because it avoids difficulty, but because it survives difficulty. As you continue building your habits, remember this simple truth. You are not expected to be perfect. You are expected to be persistent. Every setback you overcome makes you stronger. Every obstacle you face increases your resilience. Every time you begin again, you strengthen your confidence. Progress is not measured by how many times you fall. It is measured by how many times you rise. And every time you choose to rise, you move one step closer to becoming the person your habits are shaping you to be. Chapter 10. Becoming the person your habits create. Every habit begins as a simple action. You decide to wake up a little earlier. You choose to read instead of scrolling through your phone. You prepare a healthy meal. You save a small amount of money. You spend a few minutes learning a new skill. At first, these actions appear ordinary. They seem too small to make a meaningful difference. But habits possess a remarkable quality. They quietly shape not only what you do but also who you become. This is the greatest power of habits. They transform identity. They influence character. They determine the direction of your future. Long before the world notices your achievements, your habits are changing the person behind those achievements. That transformation is the true purpose of this journey. Your future is built today. Many people spend years worrying about the future. They wonder where they will be in 5 years. Whether they will become successful. Whether they will achieve financial security. Whether they will accomplish their dreams. The future often feels uncertain because it has not yet arrived. Fortunately, you do not need to control the next 5 years. You only need to control today. Every productive action improves tomorrow. Every healthy choice strengthens your future body. Every book expands your future knowledge. Every act of discipline increases future opportunities. The future is built through present actions. When you focus on today, tomorrow begins taking care of itself. Success is an identity before it is an achievement. Many people believe success is something they eventually earn. In reality, success begins much earlier. It begins with identity. A successful writer writes consistently before becoming well known. A successful athlete trains long before winning competitions. A successful entrepreneur solves problems before building a profitable company. Their achievements simply reveal the identity they have already developed. Instead of asking, "When will I become successful?" ask, "What habits would a successful person practice today?" Then practice those habits. Identity always comes before recognition. Character is built through repetition. Character is often described as what you do when no one is watching. Habits determine exactly that. Every quiet decision shapes your integrity. Returning lost property. Speaking honestly. Completing responsibilities. Treating others with respect. Continuing your work without needing constant praise. These repeated actions become your character. People may remember your accomplishments, but your character determines the quality of those accomplishments. Strong habits create strong character. Strong character creates lasting success. Live according to your values. Habits become meaningful when they reflect your values. If you value health, your daily choices should support your body. If you value learning, your schedule should include time for reading and study. If you value family, your habits should create meaningful time together. If you value kindness, your daily interactions should reflect compassion and respect. Values without habits remain intentions. Habits transform values into reality. Every day gives you another opportunity to live according to what matters most. Continue growing. One of the greatest dangers after achieving success is becoming comfortable. Growth never truly ends. There is always another skill to develop, another lesson to learn, another opportunity to serve, another challenge to overcome. People who continue growing remain curious. They ask questions. They welcome feedback. They study. They improve. They understand that personal development is a lifelong journey rather than a destination. The moment growth stops, progress begins slowing. Stay curious. Keep learning. Remain humble. Leave a positive influence. Your habits affect more than your own life. They influence your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community. Children learn by observing. Coworkers notice reliability. Friends recognize consistency. Your actions often inspire others more effectively than your words. Living with discipline encourages discipline. Living with kindness encourages kindness. Living with integrity encourages trust. Your habits become an example. Choose examples worth following. Build a legacy one day at a time. Many people think legacy is created through extraordinary accomplishments. Often, it begins much smaller. Keeping your promises. Helping someone in need. Teaching valuable lessons. Serving with honesty. Working with excellence. Treating people fairly. These daily habits gradually create a reputation. Your reputation becomes your legacy. Long after individual achievements are forgotten, people remember how you consistently lived. That is the lasting influence of good habits. The power of beginning again. There will always be opportunities to begin again. A missed habit does not end your journey. A difficult season does not erase your progress. A setback does not define your future. Every sunrise offers another chance. Another opportunity to improve. Another opportunity to learn. Another opportunity to become stronger. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not those who never fail. They are those who continue beginning again. Persistence creates possibility. Create a life you are proud to live. At the end of your life, the greatest satisfaction will not come from possessions alone. It will come from knowing you lived intentionally. That you developed your talents, served others, protected your health, strengthened your relationships, continued learning, honored your values. These achievements are built quietly through daily habits. Every small choice contributes to a meaningful life. Never underestimate its importance. The journey never ends. Completing this book is not the end of your habit journey. It is the beginning. Knowledge creates awareness. Action creates transformation. As you move forward, remember the principles that have guided every chapter. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. Systems are stronger than temporary motivation. Identity shapes behavior. Environment influences decisions. Consistency matters more than perfection. Setbacks are opportunities to grow. Success is built one day at a time. These ideas are simple. Their power comes from applying them repeatedly. Your unstoppable routine. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. You wake with purpose. Your morning routine energizes you instead of exhausting you. Your work is focused. Your health is improving. Your relationships are stronger. You manage your finances wisely. You continue learning. You face challenges with confidence instead of fear. Not because life has become easier, but because you have become stronger. Your habits support your goals. Your routines protect your priorities. Your systems create stability. You no longer depend on motivation to move forward. Action has become part of your identity. This is the true meaning of an unstoppable routine. It is not perfection. It is not endless productivity. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your daily actions are aligned with the person you want to become. That confidence cannot be purchased. It cannot be borrowed. It must be built. One habit, one routine, one decision, one day at a time. As you close this book, remember that your future is not waiting somewhere in the distance. It is being created right now through the choices you make today. Choose wisely. Act consistently. Live intentionally. And allow your habits to become the foundation of a life defined by growth, purpose, resilience, and lasting success. The journey toward becoming your best self begins again with your very next choice.